is. And, when I look at it, I wonder a couple things. Number one, knowing the history like you do about the role of prominent figures to put their thumbs on the necessary scales for civil rights. And the more prominent, the more voices can be heard. And yet, we consistently, as a society, screw up the world and ask our children to fix the problems. And I consider college-age students to be children. And also the idea that the onus is only on Black athletes to protest. I mean, I wonder why we're not calling on all student athletes to boycott in the same way the freedom riders or those on Olympic podiums and beyond had to know the strength in numbers. Just the identification of just Black students to deal with the issue seems inherently wrong to me.
I agree 1,000% with you. And I agreed with you when we were talking about taking the knee with Colin Kaepernick, and we kept running up to every single Black NFL player and walk by the white ones as if they weren't living in America. The idea that only Black athletes are responsible for dealing with racism and using their platform to address racism in a sports media is just, naive, and it actually embodies the very reasons why we keep having these race conversations to begin with, because they're characterized as a Black person's problem as opposed to an American problem. But I would also go a little bit further, Laura. I would suggest that, before you start asking yourself if Black athletes should boycott the SEC, did you boycott the NFL when Colin Kaepernick could not get a job? Did you boycott the NBA when Craig Hodges was kicked out of the NBA for simply asking President Bush if you would help Black people? That's all he did. He wore a dashiki. He handed the president a letter saying, could you please help Black people? And the NBA back in the early 90s kicked him out and blackballed him. Did we stop watching the NBA? So, it's like you're asking students to do things that grown folks won't do. And like you, I don't think that's fair.
All right. Well, welcome once again. Wanted to chime in real quick with this, about this so-called asking Black athletes to boycott the SEC. I find it very strange that they're only asking Black athletes. And here's the one thing about it. They're doing all of this. Now, this is where you can kind of call out the Democrats for being divisive. Why did they only ask Black athletes? It's like the same thing that you hear, like with Deion Sanders and other people that, well, why ain't they going to an HBCU? They should stick it out with the HBCU. That ain't going to pay them what they're worth, but and ain't going to treat them what they're worth. But nonetheless, just because they're Black, go to that establishment. In this situation, I again got to wonder, why are you looking to hamper Black athletes' earning potential, especially talking about the SEC and not signing with the SEC, which most likely, for all intents and purposes, has the most money to give a student athlete that could change his life, family's life, and pay for his college career. And we're telling them to boycott them because the Democrats are losing power? Why the hell would you ask Black people to do that? Shouldn't that be all student athletes? Aren't there white Democrats? So for all of these gerrymandered districts and all of this, shouldn't there be a widespread call for all student athletes to boycott the SEC? Why just Black athletes? Let the white ones go make their money and their careers are not interrupted. Are you peeping that? See, they're not asking the Arch Mannings. Are you catching what we're saying here? Yeah, they're not asking those players, those individuals to boycott anything. Don't do anything to hamper your career. Instead, Black athletes, make enemies in your industries early. And these older athletes telling young athletes to do that, you understand how the business works. So you understand that these people might very well be putting all nails in their own coffins by jumping on some kind of ludicrous idea to say only black athletes should go ahead and boycott the SEC. They got the most money to change your family's life. A lot of these students and these kids have came up in these areas. A lot of them are from Alabama and the South Carolinas and the Texas. And now because Democrats who have paid no attention to these black athletes, on top of that, the same party that is responsible for targeting those same athletes' parents by calling them super predators. Because see, when you say super predators, you're talking about, oh, they just meant the gangs. No, that was an open license of over-policing black communities. So much so when you had George Floyd come along and to defund the police and all of these regulations started popping off and police was going to jail, that's when things changed. And all of a sudden police didn't want to be police no more because you couldn't indiscriminately stop black people. Here in Portland, Oregon, the police force quit because they had to stop over policing black people. And it was no longer interesting or no longer a desired profession just because they could no longer target black people. This is a Democrat city. This is a Democrat state. There's never been any law put on the books to make sure that black folks weren't targeted. It took the George Floyd situation, meaning things changed without a vote. But the power of the people made cops get time. For the very same thing that Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden pushed on black America. And with Joe Biden co-authored the anti-black hate crime bill, or the anti-black crime bill with Strom Thurmond. A staunch segregationist. Matter of fact, reason why you know about the word filibuster is because he spent the longest filibuster, now that it's Hakeem Jeffries. And I noticed that that's all symbolic. There's a reason why, or Cory Booker. Cory Booker had to do that because the longest running filibuster is Strom Thurmond railing against civil rights. So you mean to tell me that Cory Booker runs out to go cover Joe Biden's mentor, Strom Thurmond, so nobody now looks at the filibuster and says, well, civil rights, there's no direct connection. They say, well, dang, civil rights and the Voting Rights Act were not covered all of these years? And you had Strom Thurmond right here with Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is who you guys were gonna try to run in 2024, and then you had a inter-party coup and still itched on your voters and said, we're gonna install Kamala Harris, and then now turn around and blame the American people for not voting for someone who they never voted for to begin with. Kamala Harris was never voted into where she was. She was only handed it. And so if you want some, see, these are things, well, she's the most qualified, well, then let her earn it. You can't give somebody a presidency. It doesn't work that way in America. I don't know what, and the fact that you thought you would shame people into that mind state says we have way too many outsiders in our black space, because they do not come from our lineage clearly. Because see, we hold on to certain values that they do not. And so right now, don't listen to these outsiders tell you to kill your own career. for a political party that has never gave a damn about you. If you or your children are looking to commit to one of these colleges, damn what these Democrats are saying, and make sure you take care and to get the best deal for you and your family. Until Democrats act like this is a widespread issue, why are they only asking black athletes? Because see, what about the immigrant athletes that get soccer scholarships or baseball scholarships? They're not asking any of that. No, just you black ones. What about the Colombians that come over here? No. What about the Dominicans? No. But you black Americans, make sure you boycott SEC. By all of these other kids from all of these other nationalities, they pulling you out of the running for the money. Well, those places will get filled. But the SEC is about winning. So if they really want your child, you better understand, damn them Democrats. The Democrats ain't never gonna do what the SEC is going to do for you. They're never going to do that for you. Don't you ever let them people tell you to allow you to ruin your child and your future relationships in the industries that you have been working all of your lives to build. You go into little league practices, middle school, high school. Now you're going to college and trying to get to the next step. And the SEC is one of those places. I'm not caping for the SEC. I'm caping for those black children who have futures ahead of them. And I understand that saying no because of something so politically slighted, which again doesn't have anything to really do with us, it does. By way of saying, well, this is representative, but they're not representing us as is now. So why on earth would you ask young black folks to ruin their futures by going into a money industry that always has been known for having very long and photogenic memories? Especially about who tells them no. I just wanted to chime in on this because I see a lot of idiots out there trying to run out and ruin black children's opportunities. And I just want to come out here and tell you they are idiots. And they all getting paid, so they'll all be fine. Don't you ruin your future for these dum-dums. Let them ask all of the other people's children to put themselves in that position. But until they do that, keep that shit off our black children. We ain't got no reason stifling their futures because of some political agenda from the damn Democrats. So that's my rant on this. These people are sick. And the notion, maybe, man, it's about time we take a stand. Damn your stand for the Democrats. It's time you take a stand for saying, hey, you had a whole Democrat convention, and the offer to black folks was a free abortion or vasectomy. You've been pushing death on our cultures, but want us to accept everybody else, dwindle our numbers to accelerate everyone else's. Now you want our children to wreck their futures in a big money-making industry. Damn that, and damn them. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Again, thanks for all the thoughts and prayers as the road to recovery over here is going. And I hope to be back with y'all on a live before too long here. So maybe this weekend, fingers crossed, but we'll see. But for right now, I just wanted to chime in on this stupid SEC, putting all the onus on black student athletes, but you refuse to actually demand all student athletes boycott. See, if black folks could take the lead, But this isn't black folks taking the lead. This is black folks taking all of the responsibility and putting that on our children. Hell no. No, no, no. You let these folks wreck your children's lives over their whack-ass agenda that'll never benefit you. You know? So, like, share this broadcast. If you have not already done so, make sure you have subscribed to this channel. Shout out, salute, peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon each and every one of you members. Thank you for holding it down. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. So y'all, till next time, y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed one. Peace.